morning. My name is Olivia Wami, and I'll be taking us on another journey of building relationship with partners. Now, in this presentation today, we'll be looking at the techniques to a long-term win-win relationship. Now, let's go in. So, people who are good at building successful alliances work very hard to structure win-win relationship. How do you mean? Like, formal contracts don't make successful relationship. Okay, people do. It requires a willingness to create a foundation in which trust, loyalty, and commitment can be built. Remember, trust, loyalty, and commitment. Every relationship is unique and must be treated as special. The basic rule is that you get what you put into the relationship. I hope we actually get this because it's very important. Remember, trust, loyalty, and commitment. A partnership is not successful to the degree that it's win-win for everyone. Okay, it replaces the traditional us versus them mentality with a new us that enables everyone to grow and reach their full potential. I know it's like too many words, but as we go on, I'll try to make examples so we can actually get what I'm trying to say. Now, what causes business relationships to fail? There isn't a single set of rules to achieve success, but there are certain behaviors that should be avoided. For example, partnerships cannot succeed if a partner is kept in the dark and is unaware of key events. Okay? So partnerships also cannot succeed when one partner attempts to gain the upper hand or has selfish motive. And let me give us an instance. Now, most of us actually prefer ordering stuff online and get it delivered to us rather than walking out, going outside to buy stuff. Now, if there isn't the basic stuff I talked about earlier, which is trust, loyalty, and commitment, business relationship would definitely fail. Now, if you ordering something and you are supposed to pay an extra fee before the day of your delivery, and it happens to be that you already paid earlier, but you didn't actually pay for the new one, which is something that just popped out. And it's very important because you need to pay that fee before your goods can get to you. Now, the person in charge of transporting the goods doesn't call you to inform you, doesn't send you an email or a text message, and you wait and wait for your goods to arrive and it doesn't. What do you think is going to happen? You wouldn't want to purchase from them anymore. That business relationship just failed. As we go on, I'll try to explain more. So furthermore, partnerships cannot succeed if they involve scapegoating. Everyone should have a vested interest in the venture's success. So another thing that causes relationships to fail, I will get looking at some basic stuff. One of them is lack of commitment. We all understand what lack of commitment is all about. Relationships fail because partners are not equally committed to the venture or to building a win-win relationship. The result is that one partner resents making a greater commitment and getting little back in return. Now, you want someone to actually build something for you. Let's take something basic for now. Let's say a tailor. Yeah. Okay, so you need a new clothes and you decided to try someone else. Maybe a new person or an old person, because sometimes old partners disappoint. So you take your clothes, the uncut clothes, to the tailor, and you give the tailor with a deadline. Okay, now it is 2 days before that deadline and you call your tailor and ask, I'll be coming in 2 days to take my clothes. Hope it's ready. Now, most people are never straightforward, which is very, very bad. In every business you do, you should have trust, you should have loyalty, and commitment. Okay? So, you lie to the person, the idea of trust has been broken. In 2 days' time, the person comes to you and the clothes is still uncut or it's not finished. Loyalty has been broken. And what does that mean? It simply means you didn't commit to getting that job done, which also breaks the commitment, thereby making the relationship which you have with that person to fail. The next one is poor management. Just like I actually explained earlier, relationships fail because management does not value the relationship and make the personal investment requirement to grow it. Unless management is fully behind the relationship, it will not flourish. I can actually give you another example. Now, as a project assistant, I can actually say you might come to meet someone. Let's say person A is a project manager and person B is a client. Now, the client comes to meet the project manager, asks him basic questions. This is what I want. I want a website, an e-commerce website that can actually help me, sell more. Now, because the project manager might feel it is too much of a work, or the client is not actually stating what he wants exactly, then he can't actually dedicate time, and he can actually dedicate sharing knowledge with the client. That's nothing as poor management. The project manager isn't trying to build a relationship because of one reason or the other. He might or she might tell herself, and the client observes this and sees immediately, because clients are very observant, especially if it's something they've researched and then they have decided to come and meet you. Maybe they were referred to by someone, or they actually saw other projects you might have done in the past and decided to come and also see you and see if they can actually get that project they want, established. So when there isn't actually management, when you can actually manage your clients in the first meeting, it simply means you cannot manage the rest of the project and the rest meetings to come, which fails the relationship immediately. Poor communication, just like what I was saying. Now, you can actually, you can really communicate very well with your clients. Relationships fail when organizations hinder the transfer of information, which is the truth. Unless there's a philosophy of open and honest communication, people spend their time looking over their shoulder rather than moving the venture forward. Just like the example I gave earlier. Furthermore, the rationale behind decisions may not be fully understood, causing errors, redundancies, and misunderstandings. Let's go to the next one. Failure of individual relationships. Relationships also fail because the individuals responsible for maintaining them may lack either the interpersonal skills or the personal chemistry needed to nurture this relationship. What it simply means is this: most of us sell things online. There is this high rate since the COVID, the high rate of online sales, It might be from your Facebook, it might be from your Instagram, it might be from your Snapchat or your Twitter. But people are now interested, or your WhatsApp. Yeah, let's not forget WhatsApp. People are now interested in getting things online because there's restriction of movement, there's interstate ban, and then there is the COVID, which people wouldn't want to risk getting. Now, when someone comes to your DM for the first time and you cannot communicate very well with the person, you cannot build a relationship with the person. It simply means that person cannot do a business with you because they do not know who you are, they do not know where you stay, and they have to trust you. Now, if there isn't any trust communicated when they are actually chatting with you or having a video call with you or a voice call, you simply cannot go on. There is no individual relationship, meaning the person cannot risk going into business with you. It means the person cannot also risk getting things from you. Now, the benefits of good client relationship: making it easier to understand the client, which is very, very important. Making it easier for negotiation, making the time spent on the project more enjoyable, getting more business opportunities. For the first time a client is coming to meet you, you should make sure communication is easy, it's understandable. Negotiations too should be easy. Make the client feel welcome, make him feel like a part of the family when the person is coming to see you for the first time to talk about a business venture. Because the more you're open, the more they understand what you're trying to say, and they see that you have their interest at heart. You get more business opportunities. Now, it takes time and trust to build relationship, but it's worth it. The ultimate goal is to become a partner, which everyone should actually have in mind. When you're discussing a venture, you shouldn't actually look at the short term but the long term, because delivering good on a project simply means the person can also come back. It means the person can trust you enough to know that I can also bring my friends to you, and the same way you made it possible for my project to be good, it was delivered on time, it was okay, the same way it would be good for my friend. Now, tips you need. These are very, very important. Very important. Now, always be helpful. Get things done, respond to clients' needs, offer extra help. Do not feel that because it is the first time this person is coming or the venture is too little, then you don't have to put so much resources or so much time into it. No, that's actually bad. Now, talk in the same language. Understand client's business. Understand how to make profits. Don't make surprises. Let your client know the same thing as you. Make the client feel he is in control. Share and evaluate. Work together. Now, I do not want to bring a business with you and then you take charge of it. It simply means I just lost control and now you're in charge, which is actually not fair. It makes me feel underappreciated. It makes me feel as though I can actually trust you, because at one point I might actually ask you for something else, and then because you feel you know best, you do something else. it doesn't build a relationship at all. Now tell the truth. Tell the client what you feel is wrong. Don't be afraid to criticize, but also tell what is right. Now, because a client is making a mistake about something he or she wants in their venture, doesn't necessarily mean that you should go ahead and just be rude. Okay, so for instance, now I actually want, I'm looking for a very simple example I can actually give that, that would be good. Okay, let's say you're going for a business meeting and you need to look good, so you call on a person's manager. A person's manager is simply someone who can actually tell you the best way to look, the best way to dress, the way to act for a business meeting. Now you're saying, okay, I want to put on a white shirt, a red tie, a red trouser, and a white shoe. And yes, that is actually wrong. Now your person's manager know that it is wrong. Now, instead of the person being a little bit polite and saying, yes, white is good, red is good on you, but I feel we need to make a statement with your attire. Why don't we go with something more corporate? Let's see, white and a plain trouser. You might not necessarily need a tie, but it will also make you look smart. Now, yes, you did criticize, but not harshly, and you also told the truth. Okay, now you didn't actually make the client feel that he isn't good enough to know what he wants, but rather you adjusted it so that he can trust you and also believe that you have his best interest at heart. Work as a team. So the client is also a team member, not the boss. Always try your best for the same goal. Build a real partnership. Be patient and polite. Teach the clients. Don't pass the client off to others easily. Be a learner. Be open to new approaches and approach each project with fresh eyes. Be flexible. Know your client as a person more than just a client. Everybody wants to be seen as a person, not just a tool or something like that, or a means of making money. So get to know his personality, his working style, even his interests. By getting to know what your client wants, it's very easy for you to communicate with them. Most people would say do not build relationship with your clients, make it official. But they fail to understand that the more you actually understand a person as a person, the more likely it is to build a relationship with the person, because your client knows you understand him, he knows you understand the kind of person he is, his interests and his working style, and so it's easy for the both of you to flow very well and also make the project to go smoothly. What your clients expect? They expect the project at the right time, in the right amount, the acceptable quality, using lowest possible price. Okay, because nobody wants to waste a lot of money on a project and then it's not as good as they expect it to be. And if they also feel that the price is good and the services is also good, then why not come again? Why don't I build a partnership with this person? Okay, so have same understanding with clients. Know how to measure success, clear responsibility for each other, and have a clear contract and strictly follow the contract. It is always advisable that at the beginning of a project, a contract is struck, because when the project is going on and then you give feedback with your client, at some point he or she might want to change things. Changing stuff, adding stuff simply means it affects the amount of time in which you have put into that project at first. So you go back to the contrast. This was what we talked about. Simply means if you want this to be inputted, we have to expand the time, we have to expand the resources. Everything have to be clear, because if you don't actually state those out, the clients will assume that at this time, maybe in a space of 24 weeks, which you said the project is supposed to end, should still be 24 weeks. But if you actually tell your clients that, okay, since you need this to be added to the project, we can actually get it done in 24 weeks, but now it has to be 26. Now the client has it in mind that, okay, it affected the time in which the project is supposed to have to be concluded. It also affects the amount, the resources. So it is going to be clear that yes, this wasn't added in a strong contract before, but now it is added, and I actually have the basic knowledge of how it should be. I've seen understanding for bugs and quality control. Understand every software has bugs. Bug fix time should go to estimation. Define quality level and what's the bug. Definitely. Testing resources is related to quality level. Compensation if critical bugs happen. Trust is needed to make clients calm down for bugs, because there are bugs. There will be bugs. So your client has to understand what it means, how it can actually affect the time of the project, and he should also know what is happening. You have to give your clients feedbacks. This is what is happening at this time. It will be fixed, but we want you to know how it is. It gives the clients a sense of control too over the project. Now, have same understanding for change requests. It is a common thing to have change requests, which is what I said earlier. The client has the right to change even significant change during the middle of a release, but needs to understand its release date or deadline, just as I explained. Almost every change is doable, but change is often associated with cost. Judge the change request and give suggestions if it's not a good change. It is important. If you know that your client is asking for something which is not good for his project, you should tell him why it's not good. Just don't say it is not good. He needs to know why first. Okay, you need a folder to be added to. You need a folder to be added, but no, this folder is not needed. It's not needed because you make the reasons to be something he can relate with or she can relate with, and at the end he would understand that what you're trying to say in essence is that this change isn't good for him. Risks. Share risks with clients. If the client is causing risks, change and request in the middle can describe things clear. Now, good relationships in business don't just happen. Okay, they are the result of honesty, integrity, respect, commitment, trust, confidence, and openness. In any healthy relationship, partners create an environment that encourages continuous improvement, risk taking, a long-term perspective, and of course, are win-win relationships. Clearly, the stronger these attributes are, the more enduring your partnerships become. Now you can see that at the left side of my slide, you see 4 happy faces, and that is because at the end of the execution of a project, your client was able to know that he could trust you, that you were loyal, that you respected him throughout everything, even when he was being maybe mean, he wasn't being cooperative, but in all, it was a win-win, because he got what he wanted and you got what you wanted. Thank you, and I do hope you guys understood everything. But if you have questions, just go down to the comment section, leave your questions there, and I will respond to each and every one of them. Thank you.